I'm a designer based in Copenhagen, and I work with furniture design, product design, industrial design. This space is the home of my work. You might be able to work in an aeroplane or walking in nature or actually everywhere, but in my case I always need to bring it back home to this place to finalize it. What I try to do here is create an atmosphere that is perfect for me to work in. And I guess I see everything in here as tools for my work. Everything is important in creating this safe place for me to work in. Because creativity is about, you need the right conditions, you need to be at ease in a way. What we have around us should make sense and should matter. Whether it's selecting the right tools in the workshop or the right pens to draw with or the right art to look at, everything is of importance. Maybe it has to do with a sense of quality. Everything should have the right quality. Functionality is a big thing, but also the aesthetics. Before I start touching the paper with the pen, I actually start designing. Just thinking about a problem to solve or a specific detail, whatever it might be. After that comes the sketching period. The essay table that have been following me in my studios for a long time, and it's really important. Even though I also did other tables, the essay just belongs in this room. The table is such an important piece of furniture, both at home but also at your workspace. Children could play in one end and you could actually do your work in the other end. I believe I was aware of objects quite early in my childhood. It probably had to do with my parents being ceramists and they created functional objects. In our everyday life, we were surrounded by cups, bowls and plates that they did. Objects has always been important to me. And I saw how details are important to the functionality and how beauty and craftsmanship are linked. Already after our first meeting, I thought a round table was what we should do together. Everything in your everyday life happens around the table, dining, playing, working. So I wanted to express the feeling of being together, being close around a table. Colors are essential to a project, though you might end up not using too many bright colors or anything. Slightly subtle tones can bring something and create a certain atmosphere. I have also tried to work with this sharp, soft appearance and the whole thing being a bit round. And so you have the loop frames in both the table and the chair, and the chamfer details and the radiuses. You have the softness of the back curve. So in a way it's as if something sharp and straight is melting, turning softer without losing character. It's not a huge chair and table, but the comfort is good. In a way it doesn't shout with its appearance, so I guess that's what I've been aiming at. I wanted to call the collection something related to round or circle or a gathering, and the Japanese word en, meaning circle, seemed quite perfect. And then a small thing also is that in Danish it means number one, and I think that's quite a nice reference for this being our first project together. Dish. You probably know the kind of soap dishes where there's two small holes or maybe only one, and then you can mount it to the wall. This image was kind of like a reference that you could take a ball shape or a closed shape, a box, and then actually mount it to the wall. The tricky part was, of course, it should be detachable, because nobody wants to fix something permanently. You should be able to take it down if you have your sewing stuff, whatever, and you need it by the table. You should be able to take down the box and use it by the table, for instance. The same with the kitchen utensils. You should also be able to take the box down and for cleaning. Maybe even if you go on holiday, you can put all your shampoo in it and then just put it in the car directly. Who knows? We were working with metal all along. It ended in the steel plate, which is quite nice now because it's very thin. And it's magnetic, so you can use magnets on it. It could be useful in a hallway, for instance, for everyday life, small messages. We have so much stuff next to us everywhere. And I think it's just best to keep it clean and simple. It makes space for living. Objects shouldn't be stealing the attention, in my opinion. I see minuscule as a quite formal chair, but meant for informal meetings. And the shape is soft, but not too soft. It's just enough rounded, like a stone on the beach. I like that you can see the actual starting point of what you're looking at, see the geometry, and then it's curved and rounded afterwards. Then it's pleasant to look at. The stitches are tailor-made, like in a tailor-made jacket. It shows the contrast between the handcraft, the tradition, and the industrial production, and you could call it the new technology. You have the leather edge all around, showing the contour of the chair. The chair is made as thin as possible, yet of course comfortable, because you're supposed to sit nicely in it. You could say the shape of the chair, the rounded back, it gives you your own sphere, so that it's more like this is your space, protected. So if something falls out of your pocket, then you won't lose it, it's just next to you. And you're supposed to feel comfortable sitting in the chair. Yeah, this is your space. And you could also say that minuscule, it means letters in lowercase. It doesn't shout out in capitals. The leg frame is like geometry that is rounded, but just enough so that it won't turn blurry. The chair has no secrets. You have the shell and you have the leg frame, and that's about it. It is what you see. That could work. Teak is the main material in Gloucester's portfolio, and I think we should highlight that. In the Atmosphere collection, we try to make it as lightweight looking as possible. There should be no hidden details. You get what you see, and they know what they're doing with this material. I think it's very important to embrace the colors because it gives a piece character. So picking the right colors, to me it's essential. What you actually need when having a relaxed time, you want to have a bit lower seating. So the whole collection is a bit lower than average seating. What we discussed in the beginning was this whole indoor-outdoor kind of blur area. We wanted to do something that could actually also work inside. I think it's quite obvious that this collection should be called Atmosphere. This is what it's all about, creating a nice atmosphere. My goal is that what I create should be for many people. In general, I'm quite fascinated by earthen colors, and actually there are more colors in nature than you would actually believe, sometimes really powerful colors. If you see this color tableau for the almond, it's not so that one item is the exact same color as we ended up using, but it's like a soup of colors. It's crucial that you can recognize yourself in the product you did. Like looking yourself in the mirror. Doing these tableaus is also, that's a treat for me. I love doing those. So it's also something I treasure doing. It's fun.